Well, good morning, guys. Self-medicated Rec here. Today, I am going to try out a new pair of wading shoes. I got a pair of Frog Toggs Hellbenders from my daughter for Christmas. This is what you get if you raise your kids right, guys. You get new wading shoes for Christmas. This would not be the first time that I've received wading shoes for a Christmas present. The last time I think I was probably about 20 years old, and my parents got me a pair of Gary Borger Weinbrenner Gary Borger Ultimate Wading shoes, and I ended up owning 3 pairs of those things. I really loved those shoes. At the time when I was younger, I was pretty hardcore about wading. I float tubed rivers, beat my feet against rocks, and so those Weinbrenner Gary Borger Ultimate Wading shoes were really good for that sort of thing. Just they're heavy, solid. They're like almost like steel-toed boots. They were so rugged and durable. Over the last few years, I've used mostly Orvis wading shoes, I guess. That's probably what I've had the most. But today I'm going to be trying out these Frog Toggs Hellbenders, and I'll let you know what I think. I'm kind of excited that she got me Frog Toggs because I was actually one of the first people to get to demo Frog Toggs gear. So back in the, goodness, I guess late 90s, the guy who originally started Frog Toggs brought me the first set of Frog Togg breathable rain gear, jacket and pants. And when I say first set, I don't know if it was actually the first pair. I don't think it was, but it was like the first run. They were still in development, you know. And so he brought these to me, and he asked me to try them out, put them through the paces, and give him feedback. And I remember the things they weren't very attractive looking. They looked like hospital scrubs, and in fact that's what they originally were, and I'll tell you that story in a second. But they were super light, like a couple ounces. So I used those things for a number of years backpacking, you know, smashing them down in a backpack, and they're really good for that. But the story is, this guy, I can't remember now if he was like a sales rep for medical gear, or if he was a nurse, or possibly a doctor, but I think he was like a medical sales rep. And he told me that he had gone to his son's baseball game, and it started raining, and he didn't have any rain gear. And he remembered that in the trunk of his car, he had these basically hospital scrubs that were made for the operating room, so that doctors, nurses, whatever, would not get body fluids on them. Like if it got on their scrubs, it would not get through to their skin. So these scrubs were waterproof and breathable. And so he grabbed them out of his trunk of his car, put them on, watched the baseball game, and he's like, wow, you know, if this had a hood, if it had a zipper, this would make a really good, lightweight, breathable rain gear solution. So he had given me a set of those and asked me to demo them, and I've been kind of excited to see that Frog Toggs has done pretty well. You know, they've got a whole line of things now, and so it's going to be fun to see how this pair of wading shoes works out. So let me stop rambling on and just give you a look, and I'll give you an honest review of what I think. First time ever wearing them, and I have no idea what they're going to be like, but I'll give you my first impressions today. Hope you enjoy. These are the new Frog Toggs. My first impression of these things is that they look pretty nice, really durable. There's going to be great ankle support with this. This toe is really nice and reinforced right here. So for kicking, kicking rocks and things like that as you're going along, it's going to be really nice. Got speed laces all the way up. The padding around the ankle inside is okay. It isn't super thick. Same in the tongue here, but it doesn't really need to be when you got neoprene boots on your waders. But I really like just how sturdy it is. I got the felt soles. The felt is pretty good and thick on them. It's black, and so far you got some vent holes down here for water to drain out. And so far, my first impression before even putting them on is pretty good. So let me get suited up in my waders, and we'll see how they feel on my feet. I'm using these shoes with a pair of size large Sims tributary waders. I normally wear a size 10 shoe, but these Frog Toggs boots are a size 11, and they feel very comfortable with these waders. A couple of things that I forgot to mention is that the shoe's uppers are constructed of mesh and PVC. And the shoes retail online for anywhere from $60 to $109 at the time of this review. In this shot, you can see that the shoe is very stable walking on these uneven rocks. The polyurethane midsole is really comfortable. I was impressed with the way it was able to combine stiffness and kind of cushiness to make the shoe feel very supportive and at the same time sort of soft feeling. Well, guys, I've spent about 6 hours or so in these wading shoes now, and I haven't been able to do much technical wading, any technical wading, really. I mean, the most I've tested these so far has been scrambling up and down banks that are covered in snow and mud, and they've been pretty much like wading shoes are for something like that. I mean, they're not really made for that, but they're at least as good as I am at that. My knee is more likely to give out than these shoes are to slip, so they've been good in that respect. The ankle support is really, really good. I mean, they feel great. They are so lightweight. It's hard to believe that these shoes are as, beefy and sturdy and kind of, I don't want to say stiff because they're just comfortable, but they really have a lot of support and are at the same time very lightweight. So I just have no complaints about them. I'll have plenty of time to do more technical wading in them, when the water comes up a bit, when the weather gets nicer and I get out fishing more often. But maybe I'll do like a 3-month review, 6-month review, a year review, something like that on these things. But in terms of just first impressions and getting out here, trying them out for the first time, I love them. I mean, I would have no hesitation at all about recommending these shoes to somebody. I would have no hesitation about, spending the money on them. And I'm super thankful to my daughter. Thank you, Mackenzie, for such a great Christmas present. Self-medicated wreck, out.